So the spirit of African unity is alive and well, brothers and sisters. Now we in the AAPRP have a major milestone that we are also commemorating. It is 40 years since the founding of our organization. The All-African People's Revolutionary Party is commemorating 40 years of its existence. Our organization was actually founded in 1968 by the great Osajifo Kwame Nkrumah, who understood at that time during the anti-colonial phase of our history that unless we create a vehicle, an organizational vehicle among the masses of our people, a broad mass Pan-African revolutionary party that could directly confront the colonial system at that time, our people would not achieve freedom. And it was in that spirit that Osajifo Kwame Nkrumah called for the founding of the All-African People's Revolutionary Party. And 40 years later, we are still in existence. Give us a round of applause, brothers and sisters. This is a major achievement for our people. We have chapters in the United States. We've built chapters in Canada. We've got a chapter in the Virgin Islands, in Africa, and we have a chapter here. But the AAPRP is not yet built, brothers and sisters. We are still building, and we need you to come on board, join the JAMU, join the AAPRP, so we can continue to build our organization. Because it's only organization and the unity of our people that will bring about our liberation. I just wanted to briefly tell you a little bit about the All-African People's Revolutionary Party. As I said, it was founded by Osajifo Kwame Nkrumah in 1968, but Brother Kwame Ture was an instrumental organizer in respect of building the party. He has since crossed into the ancestral realm on the 15th of November, 1998. But he is one great son of Africa, and I'd like to publicly, on behalf of the AAPRP, pay tribute to Kwame Ture, formerly Stokely Carmichael. Let's give him a round of applause. Now, brothers and sisters, we are a Pan-African party. That means that we encourage all of our people, all African people, wherever you live or where you were born, to join our organization because we're one African family. We are also a revolutionary party. And now some of us are afraid of this word revolution because the enemy has corrupted that word. But what we're saying is that we need a complete constructive change in the conditions of our people. Brother Karim, he explained the conditions of our people in Sierra Leone. Brother Kwame spoke about our people in Ghana. We want a complete constructive change for the masses of African people worldwide. And the only way we can do that is to organize to liberate the homeland, Mama Africa. Now the AAPRP has an ideology. When we talk about ideology, we're talking about the set of ideas that come from our culture as African people that guide and direct our thought and action. It's a set of ideas that comes from our culture that guides and directs our action and our thought as African people. Thought and action interrelate. And what we're saying is that we as African people must take an ideology that comes from our culture, as Brother Asari said previously. We call that ideology Nkrumahsm, Tourism, after Osajifo Kwame Nkrumah and the first president of Guinea, Ahmed Sékou Touré. They codified a lot of the work that came from the anti-colonial struggle and a lot of the work that our people did at that time. So we dedicated the name of the ideology to Kwame Nkrumah and Sékou Touré. One of the key things that we do within the AAPRP, we emphasize that our people need political education. Because wherever we are, we know that there's still a level of confusion among our people, even about our identity, about who the enemy is, and what we need to do as African people to liberate ourselves. So we have a study program within the All-African People's Revolutionary Party where we learn about our history, we learn about our culture, we learn about what's happening in the global system today under capitalism, but we also study socialist states. We study, for example, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. We look at what's happening in Venezuela as an emerging socialist state, and we look concretely at what's happening in Africa, because it's very important for us as African people to have a global analysis of what's happening in the world, but in particular, we must understand what's happening at home in Africa. So we place great emphasis on political education, brothers and sisters, because when we look at our people, we suffer from three main things. We suffer from disorganization, disunity, and ideological confusion. You know, a lack of clarity around who we are, what we need to do to liberate ourselves, and who our enemy is, as I said previously. So political education for us, within the context of the theme, unifying Africa under a socialist government, is very, very essential to our people. I just wanted to quickly highlight some of the major achievements of the All-African People's Revolutionary Party. But before I do that, I'd like to just share with you what our objective is. Our objective is Pan-Africanism. And we say that Pan-Africanism is something that our people have consciously or unconsciously been organizing to achieve. We define that as the total liberation and unification of Africa under scientific socialism. And when we talk about scientific socialism, we're saying that there's only two systems in the world today. Capitalism, where a small minority of people own and control the wealth, you know, like the diamonds in Sierra Leone, companies like De Beers owns that. The rubber in places like Liberia, Firestones and these other multinational corporations exploit our people's wealth, and they are impoverished. In the Delta region in Nigeria, companies like Shell Oil are exploiting the people, but our people are rising up against these exploitative forces. So we're saying there's only two systems. One where a small, greedy minority owns and controls the wealth for their benefit while the masses suffer, and a collective system where land and the resources are collectively owned by our people, where political power is in the hands of our people, and we use the resources for our benefit. And that is the system, in essence, of scientific socialism, which has universal application. Like our comrade here earlier, they are institutionalizing a socialist system in Korea, in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, based on their culture. We're saying that under a scientific socialist continental unity, we would institute a collective system in Africa based on African culture. So Pan-Africanism is an objective that the A-APRP has been organizing to achieve, and our people worldwide, whether consciously or unconsciously. And I'll just run through